Hi there, this is Keith. I'm going to begin this video with the punchline, and that is cameras and their batteries simply don't work well in cold temperatures. So if you're having a problem with your action cam or camera, can't figure out what it is, then listen to my story as I go through the details and see if it sheds light on the problem you're having. I bought the ActiveOn CX Black Edition back in the spring of 2016. All summer it worked well. I was getting around 2 hours of recording time every time I used it. Didn't have to recharge it very often at all, really. In late November of 2016, I bought the ActiveOn CX Gold Edition camera. I was very happy with the overall performance of the camera, but I noticed the battery life was really short. I had assumed the battery was old and just wasn't charging properly. The camera came with 2 batteries, but the second battery came in its own plastic packaging. That simply meant the 2 batteries didn't come from the same batch. I continued to use my camera on a daily basis, but the battery life was only about 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. Then I tried swapping batteries. I took the old battery out of my CX Black camera, which I knew got 2 hours of recording time. I put it in the gold camera, but again, I only got 10 minutes of recording time. That's when my focus shifted from thinking this was a battery problem to a camera problem. Was it the camera that simply wasn't charging the battery properly? After charging the battery all night long, I was still only getting about 10 minutes of recording time before the battery died. Then I tried using different USB cables from the camera to the computer, and I tried switching USB ports in the computer. None of those things worked. That's when I tried a little experiment because I'd always been using this camera outdoors in the cold. So what I did was I put it in my living room where it's warm. I turned it on, I let it record, and then afterwards I saw how long the video was. Do you know what? It recorded for 2 hours and 14 minutes in my warm living room. Then it hit me. There's nothing wrong with the camera. There's nothing wrong with the batteries. It's winter right now. It's the cold temperatures that's affecting the camera and the batteries, and they're not operating properly. In the cold, batteries give off less power. Therefore, software in the camera detects this and considers it to be on low power and eventually shuts it off. But the camera doesn't have low power, it simply has slow power. I have a cool analogy for you that'll probably paint a really good picture in your mind about what's going on here. Have you ever taken a can of beer, a bottle of beer, put it in your freezer, trying to chill it down, forgotten about it, and then when you get it, it is frozen. But it's not completely frozen, solid. No, it's slush. And so you open up the beer and it comes out really slow. It's slush. A few drops at a time. You're trying to warm up the bottle or the can, trying to force more out of it, but it just won't come out. It's a block of slush inside the bottle or the can that you can't get out. That's exactly what happens with these batteries. They've got a full charge inside, but they're just too cold to let it all out like it's supposed to. So it doesn't flow out. It comes out little dribbles. And then your computer software detects this and thinks, the battery must be low on charge. Let's just shut off. But it's not low on charge. It's just coming out so slowly. So that was, and still is, my continuing story with my cameras. In conclusion, I just want to say it's the nature of the beast. Cold weather affects cameras and their batteries just like it affects everything else, including you and me. Now, I have heard camera photography experts say that cold weather drains batteries faster. That's not accurate. In fact, it's just the opposite. Cold weather prevents batteries from working properly, from draining. That's why, if you want to take some brand new batteries like AA, AAA batteries, store them in your fridge because they drain slower, and when you actually need them, they have full life. They're not worn out. So that's what cold does. There are a lot of cameras out there that are designed to work in cold temperatures. They're designed this way, whether they're insulated or they give off a lot of heat, they work in cold temperatures. But for those cameras that don't, I have heard one trick that works. Take some of these chemical warmers that are used for your hand and feet that go in your shoes or gloves and actually tape this on the back of your camera. It gives off heat and it continues to help your camera stay warm in those really cold winter temperatures. One conclusion you could make here is that if you want to buy an action cam to record yourself skiing or tobogganing or playing pond hockey or on your snowmobile or anything to do in the winter when it's below zero, make sure you get an action cam that works in cold temperatures because a lot of them don't. So keep that in mind before you buy an action cam of this type. Anyway, this is Keith here in Mississauga. I hope you enjoyed my little video today about cold weather affecting cameras. Bye for now.